Hi, and welcome back to another episode of WTW Cinemas with myself and the lovely Will, manager extraordinaire of White River Cinema here in St Austell, where the WTW stands for what to watch, where to watch, and why to watch.
Yes.
That's some good branding.
It is
That's some good branding.
Yeah.
How are things?
Good, yes, yeah. It's been a little while since we caught up.
Yeah, what's been in, what's been on, what's been good?
The Creator, that was a good film, so that's done well. We had loads of horror films, it's just been inundated.
Yeah.
Sick to death of them.
Curious that they do it a little bit before Halloween though.
Yeah, not much more Halloween itself. But
just hold it for a couple of weeks.
We had The Nun 2 and The Exorcist Believer and Saw X, and there's some other thing, I don't know what else is in there. There's a few we've actually avoided because there's so many. I've never known so many.
Interesting, and like I say, you think if they just waited a couple of weeks, they would have been into Halloween perfectly.
I know you want it just before, because like a Christmas film, when Christmas is out, you don't really watch the Christmas films after Christmas, that's the thinking. But some people still will, because there's a thinking now, like Christmas Day, bang, that's it, done. Whereas like, we were a bit younger, like Christmas Day would be the start of events.
You build up to it, yeah.
But with cinematic releases, they want it before, and say with Halloween, you want it out ready. Halloween's on the Tuesday this year. But you think they would have waited until like Friday the 13th would have been quite a good date for it.
A very apt day, especially for releases as well. What a cool day to release on, very thematic like that. But I do think, like you say, Halloween, it's seasonal. It is a season, much like Christmas and things like this now. So I think when you think of October, you do just think now Halloween.
It used to be just one day, but it has expanded. It does annoy me because like shops are just mid-August, aren't they? Just like full of it all. And it's like, you don't need all this stuff.
I have seen mince pies in the shops already, and I'm not complaining about that. I love me a mince pie any time of year, so that's fine. So saying about Halloween, that's obviously coming up, the half-term week and things like this. What have we got going on for those?
So we've got a few things ourselves doing a bit different, but Halloween films, we've got the classic Hocus Pocus back in for the weekend before and on the day itself.
Very excited.
You're most looking forward to.
I am. And I think there's that specialty of coming to see an older film, and like I've already said to you about bringing people that haven't seen it and haven't seen the original and things like this, so to be able to go, your first time seeing it is again in the cinema, is really special. You know, that's how it would have been years and years and years ago when it originally came out.
Definitely.
Hocus Pocus 1, when did that come out? It's got to be...
Well, this is the 30th anniversary.
I was going to say 30 years. There we go.
In cinemas, so,
have you seen the sequel?
No. Well, only because I've heard mixed things, so I haven't gone around to watch. I do like the first one. The first one's really good. I enjoy that.
Yeah, you don't need to.
No, I'm sort of. You don't want it to sort of maybe taint the original if it isn't as good as it's going to be. And it isn't going to be as good. There's no point.
No, and I think a lot of the time with ones like that, 30 years is a heck of a gap. And to me, you almost lose what's special about the first one, because there is obviously shot very differently. There's a lot of CG in things nowadays, and less practical effects and all these sides of things, where I think that was the magic.
Yeah, the colour palette as well, isn't it? You notice a lot of that's different. If you look at like older stuff, like the colouring they use on the films and screens, because a lot of it's digitally filmed now, whereas that would have been on like celluloid 35mm films, stuff like that. So you will notice a bit of a difference in that. It's like the Star Wars, when they've done the prequels, they looked a lot newer than the ones that were supposed to be after
this.
So they sort of redressed that a little bit with some of the other things they've done recently.
It's hard to sort of set your brain then into it to say this is when this was, sort of thing. And I always get it with anything like continuity-wise like that, is how glossy some things look, and especially it doesn't suit the particular vibe of the film or the genre of the film, where it needs to be a bit more gritty. Especially with ones like Hocus Pocus, where they've got that, it's not horror, but that spooky element to it. I think it lent itself really well to back in the day when it was originally done and things like this, whereas now 30 years is a long time, everything's changed and it's very different. But no, really happy to see Hocus Pocus back on the screens again. Bette Midler, obviously Sarah Jessica Parker, all good stuff on that one. So you're a big fan of the original?
Yeah, it's really good.
So to get that one back in, are you going to be in your finest witch's costume?
Well, we're offering staff to dress up the weekend for Halloween, because it's odd being on a Tuesday. I know it changes each year, but a Tuesday is a strange night, because like, you want to sort of dress up the weekend before, but you don't want to drag it out too much. So we're sort of dressing up on the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because obviously we have Super Saver Monday, so it's going to be quite busy day before, and on Halloween itself. But some of us are dressing up properly, and others are just wearing like movie t-shirts.
Oh, okay.
Like a bit of,
but still a bit of something to it.
And we're also doing a sensory trick-or-treat table as well. So
Oh, is that going to be like blindfolded boxes, sort of?
Yeah, things like that. So,
tasting
and
or not apple bobbing or anything like that anymore.
No.
Health and hygiene will be on
it's
to you.
dangerous for that now. Yeah, so sort of Haunted in Venice with Borrow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you still do apple bobbing and things.
I don't know. You don't see it so much anymore,
Probably
do you?
not, no.
But no, like I say, so I think it's what other Halloween film would you like to see come back to sort of like they've done with Hocus Pocus? Do you think there's any other older ones that might suit it? Because I think Hocus Pocus lends itself really well because it's Halloween in the sense that it's got those spooky and it's about witches and things like that, but it's not horror, it's not gore.
No, it depends if you want a proper adult horror or if you're going to look more for a family one. Adult ones, I would probably say like The Shining, I think would be quite good.
So that proper cinema as well, isn't
Yeah.
it? This is the thing, and I think people respect that.
That would be good to have back in. See, I'm not a big horror fan, to be honest. I maybe like some of the gothic-y ones, like the Bram Stoker's Dracula. That would be quite good.
Nosferatu and all of those older ones as well.
Yeah. I think some of the old, like Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee ones, those.
Oh, the Christopher Lee as well, yeah.
Family-wise, Corpse Bride.
And you've got Nightmare Before Christmas. Is that a Halloween one, or is it
that's
Christmas?
The thing, is it Nightmare? Is it Christmas? I would say it's more
Halloween.
Halloween, definitely.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think you can watch it in that time in between. I think split the difference.
Any time in between that.
Yeah, mid-November.
So if Hocus Pocus isn't particularly for anybody, and they do want a spookier film, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes,
that's the spooky ooky.
That is going to be 15 though, despite it looking for children. Because it's a load of big robot animal bear things.
So what we can tell,
it's based on the computer game. I know that. It's a very, very popular computer game. Not that I've ever heard of it.
Well, it's funny.
Some people have.
There's been a surge of video game films, really, hasn't there? So it was only a matter of time until they're like, right, what Halloween scary horror film can we do?
Well, we've done a few. They've had Silent Hill. That was one.
Yes, you're right.
Resident Evil. Things like that. So
they've been some of them have been all right as well.
Yes.
All right.
Lots of Resident Evil.
Yes, there's going to be some that are going to be all right, aren't they?
Yeah.
So Five Nights at Freddy's, it's, from what we can tell, haunted, cursed animatronic characters similar to that of Chuck E. Cheese from popular American chain restaurant.
Yeah.
They come to life. There's a poor security guard that's got to work the night shift or something or other, and he goes up against them. Yeah,
and some kids like break in. It's a very, very violent Night at the Museum, I suppose, is one way of looking at it.
Yeah, I guess so. Things coming alive at night. The poor Ben Stiller, what's he got himself in for now? I think I've heard about it. It's one that I've definitely heard of from people. Again, whether that comes from it being the game that I've then heard about.
It's, on our website, we've got a new feature on there. So if you see a film coming soon, you can click on it and you'll get a notification when tickets are on sale.
That's a great idea.
And that one is the busiest film since we've started this feature. We've been doing it for a little while now as well, so there's some big films that come out. But that one's
people are ready for that one.
Yeah, the most sort of pre-interest.
That's really interesting, and it's a good way of gauging interest as well, that must be.
Yeah, because we thought, what's going to do? Not too much of it. Then the boss is saying, what's this Five Nights at Freddy's? Because there's lots of interest. So we've had to actually sort of think,
that's why.
When we're going to show it. So,
I think, like you say, it appeals to a broad age group as well. Like, I reckon you're going to have people in that are 15 right the way up through. That enjoy their horrors and things like this.
I think from the release of the film and stuff, it's very appealing to 18 to 21 group.
That sort of, it's... I don't know if it's for me. I don't like being scared. I don't like putting myself through it on purpose. I don't like being made jump. I don't want to lose any popcorn.
No, it's not for me either. So I don't mind the scary tale and stuff like that. So a bit of the... It's
the senseless gore that I'm not so particularly fussed with, where I think if I've gone like this for most of the film, what was the point in paying to come and see this film, this sort of thing.
That's why you avoided Saw, wasn't it? So,
again, I just think it's a bit of like an exposure therapy almost,
Yeah, I don't see the appeal in it. And
no.
Some things I can sort of see even if you don't enjoy it, so fair enough, but the Saw ones are beyond me.
Yeah. It's a whole almost.
Why do you want to watch this? Why do
you want to watch? Putting yourself.
A lot of people do walk out and can't sit there, but it's the 10th one. You must know what you're letting yourself in for.
Yeah, and it's that tension as well, isn't it? Where it's just that you hold yourself almost, don't you? You're tensing yourself up. Yeah. So what else have we got on for Halloween itself then?
So that's a couple weeks out.
We've got Trolls the movie.
Trolls is out.
Yes.
Yeah, this week.
And is that number 3?
Yeah, Trolls band together. Oh, you'll love this. Do you know which band are back together to sing a song for it?
I dread to think.
Who's the main voice?
I honestly couldn't tell you anything about the Trolls films in all my life. Justin Timberlake?
Yes.
NSYNC.
Yeah.
NSYNC are back in town. I was about to say Backstreet's back, but completely wiped that. That's not right at all. NSYNC are back for it. Yeah. So they obviously got the cash together and made enough from the first 2 films to put NSYNC back together.
Yeah.
What could they possibly be up to this time?
Probably wouldn't take much money to get them back together.
I was going to say some of them were probably quite happy for that. Yeah, exactly. What could possibly be happening in Trolls 3?
So it's Poppy and Branch are the main two trolls. They've sort of been on-off relationship and doing other stuff, but they are actually together as a couple now. They find out a bit more about each other's history, and Branch used to be a part of a boy trolls band, Brozone, I think they're called.
Right,
but
yeah,
they disbanded, and they were his brothers, but they all went different ways, and he hasn't seen them, all been estranged for all these years. And then one of them gets kidnapped, so he has to get them back together to try and find his kidnapped troll brother. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting kidnapping in the plot.
This is
this is serious stuff now. I mean, well, if they've got 3 out of it, do you think they can keep going? Yes.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, they are popular, they're colourful, they are done well actually, and they do have some very good music and good voices like Timberlake and Anna Kendrick in it. So yeah, they are a good
that
family
voice cast
franchise
as well. Yeah, and that's would you say Trolls, like we obviously had Barbie this year, and we've got that interest now in toys? Was Trolls a toy? Because obviously you used to have the little trolls with the big hair on top.
Yeah, is it a toy or is it a collector's item? That's a big question.
But does that count as one of those films that's been made out of the thought of toys? You know what I mean?
Yeah, inspired
you would
by
think
the
that would be,
yeah.
I reckon they'll get to 5 or 6 of them myself.
I don't know. They might finish off with the third one.
You reckon?
You don't want to keep doing it. Do you?
Peak cinema. Leave it, leave it at its best.
Yeah, you see they go too far sometimes. So Hotel Transylvania, the first two were brilliant. The third one not so much, and then the fourth one.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they've not done any spin-offs for Halloween. I mean, I know they've done like shorts and things like that, haven't they? But I'm surprised there's not been a full feature-length spin-off of Hotel Transylvania yet.
I was looking the other day, doing my piece for the paper, and busy half terms, and the October one can be very busy, but often you've got a huge release of a James Bond film. So I looked when Skyfall was out that Halloween. We had like about 2,000 people in that day, and that was a real packed out day. But that was on, and Hotel Transylvania, the first one was on as well. So we had two, an adult one and the kids one. Madagascar 3 was on as well. So yeah, we had a good mix of Paranormal
What year was
Activity, one
that?
of those. That was 2012.
Gosh, yeah, it would have been now. That seems, that's blown my mind to think about. I mean, I will say Skyfall's probably my favourite Bond film.
Yes. Certainly of the Daniel Craig ones.
Yeah,
it's really
talking about feature lengths and long films, may I, to the elephant in the room? Yes.
Mr. DiCaprio is reunited with Scorsese for his 6th time, and Bob De Niro for his 10th time with Scorsese. So they do like working together on collaborations.
Tell me about this, because looking at this now, I can see obviously you've got this nice Native American character here, Lily Gladstone, and all of these sides of things. Where are we? What's happening? When was it?
So it's back in the 1920s in America, and they find oil out there, and I think it's decided that the land, because it's Native American land, that they're going to split the proceeds between them. Leo is married to Lily's character.
Right.
And there's a lot of underhand shenanigans going on because obviously there's money involved in oil and things like this. So a lot of the people start disappearing and start dying. So they send FBI agents, well, pre-FBI, to investigate all the suspicious murders and deaths that are occurring in the town.
I think I could get into that sort of thing because I always liked I mean, again, it's almost very close to Western. Yeah. In that sense of old America.
Certainly the setting.
You know, and I think I've not really seen much about oil tycoonery and all this sort of thing, and then you've got the stuff with land deeds and stuff like that. I think there's definitely, ironically, a gold mine there when it comes to content and these sorts of things.
Daniel Day-Lewis done There Will Be Blood. That was a big oil-based one, but yeah. But it's an epic.
I was going to say, epic is the word, given the runtime. Tell me the runtime.
206 minutes, which is 3 hours and 26 minutes, which is 25 longer than Oppenheimer, which is the longest one this year, I believe.
3 hours, 26 minutes of your day.
Yes.
Watch it. I mean, I could happily spend 3 hours, 26 minutes of my day watching Leonardo DiCaprio, no problem at all.
Yeah. But
that's a long film.
I think there should be an interval.
There should 100% be an interval, or at least like an ice cream break or something. Because if that was a shift and somebody was working, they would be entitled to a break. Like they would be entitled to sit down and have a break,
have a cup of tea.
Just take the weight off your feet for a minute, ironically, or like stand up and stretch. It might have to be that I have to have a stretching moment in there. Like, excuse me, just going to walk up and down the aisle a couple of times. Why do you think they're doing such feature-length films?
There's been quite a few longer film releases. Indiana Jones was long, and Mission Impossible was long, Oppenheimer was long, and then this one was a long one. So yeah, we have had a spate of longer films. I'm not sure if it's maybe because of the TV stuff. They're sort of thinking there's a lot of episodes to fit stuff in.
Longer
So they're making
series.
longer films to try and get that bit more content within the film.
It's just less and less work for the editor every time, isn't it? They probably think this is great, you know. Yeah, I've only got to cut it down to 3.5. Brilliant, you know.
Don't need to cut anything out. Just leave it all in.
Exactly. I mean, it must be good for the actors. Things I would take it really personally if I was an actor and I'd shot an entire scene or something or other and they hadn't used it. I've always thought I'd be like, oh, hang on a minute, I thought I was really good on that bit.
Yeah.
Things like that. So it must be really difficult to see bits get clipped and cut and things like this.
Yeah, so if you haven't got much in the part and then it just gets trimmed.
Yeah, and I mean, if you've got a story like this, and I can understand, it's probably going to be heavy. You know, it's probably going to be, you are locked into watching what you're watching and you're very sort of in that moment. And I think if you can get that to that point, the 3.5 hours will go.
Yes.
You'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, of course you will. Yeah.
If you can sort of dive into it like that.
It's like Oppenheimer, the time went really quick with that because it's so well paced and moves on really quick. So
it's like an intensity, isn't there?
Yeah. You don't realise it's so long.
As long as Trolls 4 isn't 3.5 hours.
3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes might be better, actually.
Yeah.
So, do you think this is going to be the big hit now, following on from Oppenheimer?
It will be pushing Oppenheimer for the awards, definitely, because it did win the Palme d'Or at Cannes previous year, so it won the film festival there. Leo and Cillian Murphy will go head to head. It's a tricky one. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I can't compare the two just yet. I would have said Oppenheimer was going to really excel. This could really push it. Yeah. But Scorsese stuff, sometimes you're expecting huge things, and he doesn't always get the award recognition. And Leo doesn't always get the award recognition either.
No, very true.
Sometimes they do get a bit overlooked. So, but I think it will certainly be nominated.
I think it's a good time for it as well, because there's not as many. Obviously, with Oppenheimer, there was this whole mass media thing with Barbie at the same time, and two of these great films going at it. Whereas this one is very much got the lay of the land at the moment. Yeah. And it's probably going to dominate in that sense, isn't it? Yeah,
you would have thought so. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's got a good cast, good director, good story.
Yeah.
But maybe
nice to see them still working, De Niro and that lot still going.
Keeping going.
Still going. Cool. So anything else that's on the horizon that we're looking forward to?
So not necessarily film-wise, but event-wise, we have got the Silver Screen coming back.
That's coming back, is it? The return?
On the 2nd of November.
What's going on then?
So we have Indiana Jones to kickstart the new one. Oppenheimer, as we mentioned.
Yes.
So those two, Great Escaper and Past Lives that have set, and there will be one more. And there's a Christmas special with Love Actually in December to finish off this round of the Silver Screen. But it's been a bit of a longer break than usual, but we were waiting for content and different bits and pieces behind the scenes. But 2nd November, Indiana Jones, 11 a.m, Silver Screen.
That's the one to go for.
Yeah, tea and coffee as well.
And there you go, see? Yeah. I'm liking the sound of this myself, actually. Yeah.
And the biscuit.
You've sold it. You've sold it to me now.
What biscuits do we get? That's the thing.
That's the debate now, isn't it? Maybe a different one for each one. I don't know, Indiana Jones, they could be a bit, adventurous.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yes, yeah.
Could be anything.
Yeah, I'll try and theme the biscuits.
To Indiana Jones. We put it on a pedestal where they've got to steal it off. Yeah, like replace it with an artefact sort of thing. That's nice. Anything, what have we got on events-wise coming up?
Cinema, we have, what's our next one? So Taylor Swift is still playing. That's on for a few weekends into November. That's very, very good. So if you're a fan or not a fan, but you just even like the music, then it's worth a look because.
Tell me about this. So it's not live, obviously. So it's the Eras tour. Yes, the Eras tour. Is it a concert that's already been and gone?
Yes, one she had in LA in the Sophie Stadium.
Yes, so that was recorded.
Yeah. So they've recorded it, and it's just the whole concert. So it's like 2.5 hours, but it's continuous. But the good thing with the recording of it is like the costume changing bits and pieces like that. So it's just gone out. So it's just bang, 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 bang.
Into it.
It plays all of her songs. Yeah.
That's good. Do you think you'll get more concerts in like that?
Yeah.
You think?
There's one, but
I was about to say, it sounds like you know something and you're not allowed to say something.
I don't know if we're allowed to announce because we can get in trouble because Taylor Swift, there's so many restrictions. Yeah. And I always spoke about this on the radio, so I was fuming when what we can and can't do. So,
and there's no merch here as well. We're putting that out there now. You can't get your cups or your popcorn
buckets. I'll draw
buckets.
a picture of a cowboy hat on the box if you want. That's the best we can do.
So you'll have your permanent marker busy that night, very busy. Yeah.
I think that's I'll tell you off air what the other one's going to be.
Yeah. So, but do you think there will be more sort of concert ones like this coming? I think it's a great idea.
Because we've done some in the past. We've had Take That and Westlife and Coldplay, and they've all done really well. Really well. But with Taylor Swift being such a big name, it's not just us. It's got to be appealing to everyone. But there's one we've definitely got coming out.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking there's another big female artist just started her tour.
Yes.
Not saying anything's confirmed with her, but that would be one you could sort of
that would be
see,
great.
So, yeah.
I'd be very happy.
So I think they've seen how much Taylor Swift has got out of this, the appeal.
Yeah.
So I think a lot more will sort of.
That's the thing. If you can show value in it, like look how much money we made. Basically, bottom line, isn't it? Is look what we've done.
The biggest star out at the moment. So she wants to do it. It's going to encourage others to then.
I think it's a good idea. You know, it's hard enough paying, travelling, and all of this stuff with it, and you know. Everything that comes with going to see a concert, and I get that, and it's all well and good if you want to do it and be there and experience it, but this is the next best thing.
Yeah, and it's brilliant. I said, locally where we are, because we are set aside, we have to travel quite a way to see anything, haven't we? So
it's a real sort of task to go and see anything in the planning, and then like you say, you've got paying for accommodation, all these sorts of things with it. That if you can come here, have yourself some snacks, see the concert for what it is anyway. Everybody's happy.
There you are.
Brilliant. Lots coming up then. Thank you very much for having a chat with myself today.
That's right.
Look forward to
Catch
it.
up soon.
I'll see you for Hocus Pocus.
Definitely, yeah.
I'll be there in my finest witch's attire. But until then, that's it for us here at White River Cinema. Bye-bye now.
If you'd like to find out what's on at your local WTW cinema, please head to wtwcinemas.co.uk.